Hello everybody, and welcome to Win Spooky Prizes, the show where we ask the questions that nobody thought were worth asking. I'm Eddie, and I'm joined today by 2 crewmates and 1 imposter. And they are Alex.
I saw Bear invent.
Bear? Defend yourself.
I saw Alex eat a corpse!
And our judge this week is Paul.
How do corpses taste?
Yummy.
Well, Paul, you called this meeting today, so what question do you have for us?
So, it's been a while since I've dealt in my line of villainy, and I want to get back into it. But clearly I don't want to do something that is obviously dealable with. So I called on you 3 idiots, because you guys will clearly know what is possible to be easily defeated. So I want to know, which Halloween villain could you defeat?
Oh, I've got it. I'm easy.
Yourself?
Yeah, myself.
Imposter! We knew it!
It's me.
It's me. So the King of Horror, Stephen King, obviously.
Okay, the Stephen King of horror.
Writes a lot of books where the ideal solution is leave. So like if you're seeing a creepy clown, just leave. If the Tommyknockers have possessed your friend, but you're somehow magically not effective because you got like a steel rod in your head, just get out of there. There's no hope.
Uh-huh.
If you're being attacked by vampires, like Father Callahan, he just left and he was fine. Yes, he was stalked for the rest of his life by vampires, but you know, he survived.
Oh yeah, all good.
Are you picking all of Stephen King at this point?
So the Stephen King way it's hard just to leave is The Shining, which is basically a haunted house.
Okay.
But it's set in a hotel that gets snowed in. And also, Jack, our protagonist, ? He's not a good guy.
Antagonist? ?
He is not a good guy. This is basically his last chance after like being kicked out of his last job as a school teacher for like beating up a kid.
What?
And like his marriage is in shambles because of addiction issues. And also he's got a psychic 5-year-old. Very important.
Well, don't we all?
Well, actually, this is part of my plan, because the reason the hotel goes apeshit is because little Danny is a psychic 5-year-old and the hotel is like feeding on the psychic energy. I don't have a 5-year-old son with psychic powers, so I think the Overlook Hotel is pretty safe. I'm going to take this winter caretaker's job in the Overlook Hotel, invite my friends round so we can play board games and record Win Stupid Prizes, and we have a really great time.
What a great plug for this podcast you're listening to.
We get free NPCs for RPG night. We get extra players if we need extra players, because the hotel's like, yeah, we got this barman who's a bit bored, who's just standing there.
The interesting thing about what you're currently saying is you've just shot yourself in the foot. Because there are other patrons of the hotel, Jack and his psychic 5-year-old are patrons of the hotel.
Yeah.
No. We're not having patrons of the hotel. I'm inviting my 3 friends because the hotel is closed over the winter.
But you just talked about having other NPCs from other patrons.
No. That's the ghosts in the hotel. The ghosts in the hotel are the NPCs.
But how do the ghosts turn up if there's no psychic 5-year-old?
No, the ghosts are there. They're like haunting the hotel, but the hotel doesn't get into big spooky territory, into I'm going to murder my family spooky territory, because none of us are psychic, I hope.
But we are dealing with ghosts.
So just to get this straight, are you telling me that the villain is the hotel? That is what you're saying. You're saying it's not Jack, you're saying the villain is the hotel.
I mean, he's also a terrible person.
And the way you've defeated said hotel is to not really engage with it at all.
It's by using it as a hotel.
You've defeated the villain by not engaging with it.
Yes. I mean, if we want to engage with it, we take the ghosts.
Doesn't the reason Jack even gets the job in the first place is because the hotel is haunted and has done this before? It's not like everyone has a psychic 5-year-old.
The reason he gets the job is because he asks his rich friend who's on the board, hey, I'm in a real pickle because I can't get another job because I assaulted a kid I was teaching. Could you help me out? And the manager was going to just hire some random like kid who was home from college and just wanted 6 months, because he was like, that's the kind of person who's not going to go stir crazy.
Okay, but doesn't it have a history of this stuff?
Yeah, last year it did that, but it was another person with kids and a family, and we don't have a troubled marital life, I hope.
So is it only kids who have psychic powers? What if you find out you're psychic because of the hotel?
The chef guy, whose name I forgot, who comes at the end because Danny like sends a big psychic message saying, help me. He also has The Shining. And basically everyone who's a protagonist in a Stephen King novel going forward has The Shining. Please don't at me.
Does this make you a protagonist?
Of a Stephen King novel?
Yeah, like if you're going into the hotel, are you now the protagonist, and do you get The Shining?
Yeah.
No, because it's the 5-year-old who has The Shining, although technically he might have a weak version. It's unsure, it's unclear.
Oh, so you, like, when you're about to arrive at the hotel, Stephen King shows up and says, sorry, legal order, you need to be the caretaker of this 5-year-old while you work here.
He hasn't written himself into the novels yet. He does that later.
No, as the narrator. Stephen King shows up as the narrator, gives you a kid, and is like, you've got to do this for the story.
We're already doing a flashback. He's present.
He's there.
It's interesting that, like, if you pick a novel, is the writer actually still influencing this new version of the story?
That would be quite hard, because
Yeah.
I think if Stephen King is writing me, then I'm probably a worse person and also going to die.
But that's what makes you such a compelling character.
Yes.
The fact that you're not a worse person. So Stephen King is like, I'm turning a new leaf. I'm making this character just a nice lad.
He's off the heroin and is on the mint tea.
Here's a psychic 5-year-old.
Let's see how horror messes with someone who's not, like, a problem, but still gets troubled.
Yeah, I'll have maybe some sleepless nights. I'll be like, maybe I should go into this room where that person was murdered. Don't go into the room where the person was murdered. That's not good.
Step
What
one.
if the hotel convinces you to become a billionaire capitalist?
Oh, no.
The absolute dream, as we all know.
I mean, I could probably do some good with that, right? In future novels. I could be the person who funds adventures.
And then punishes you for it.
No, but then you'd get your comeuppance because you would become a worse person.
Yeah.
No, because Stephen King is also a rich person and he wouldn't write rich people as the baddies that badly.
It is a fairy tale.
Yeah, damn. All right, good point.
Yeah.
Okay, but ghosts, right? There are ghosts in this this hotel is haunted. That is a fact.
Yes, it is a ghostly haunted hotel which has something going on.
Do you think you could defeat a ghost?
No, I don't think I need to. I think I invite the
I
ghost.
think you'll find the question is.
I think I invite the ghost to sit down and play a board game with me.
Right, okay. Well, God, we're going back in time again, and then there's Jamie persuading Thanos to play Magic the Gathering. We're not doing this again.
No, I think we are doing this again. If you're going to a haunted hotel for a board
If
game...
you say Magic the Gathering, I'm throwing this table.
Shut up, Paul. We're not part of this episode anymore. We don't need you.
I record remotely. I'm throwing this table as such a weird threat. It's your own table.
Alex, you're going on holiday to a hotel for a while. You're playing board games. I'm coming with you, and I'm bringing a 5-year-old for no discernible reason.
Damn it.
Oh no, I've only brought spooky horror board games.
All you gotta do is, like, get the 5-year-old invested enough into terraforming Mars that he doesn't have time to go crazy psychic spooky.
Oh wait, you know what's really bad though? It's a haunted house, so we get there, we open up the terraforming Mars box, and it's got Monopoly components
Oh
inside.
no.
That is the true horror.
And it starts snowing in, and so we're trapped here for 3 months.
Well, there's enough time for one game of Monopoly.
Yeah, you open up a door and you see me with an axe because I've just killed AJ because I wanted to have the dog. It's like, I don't want to be the iron.
We end up playing Mega Monopoly, we introduce a load of drafting to attempt to make it better and only make it take longer.
When you said Mega Monopoly, I just thought we're gonna scale it up. Like, we'll make the hotel a big, like, courtyard of the hotel. Just the board. We just walk
God.
around.
No, we don't even get to go into the hotel until we've bought enough houses.
Oh, for
That's
God's
true.
sake.
Whoever owns the hotel, we have to pay rent in Monopoly money.
Right. Okay. So in other words, we have defeated the hotel by inventing a different version of hell.
Yes.
Yeah, we play so much Monopoly that the hotel's just like, I don't need to do anything.
Yeah.
We've won, but at what cost?
You can check out anytime you like. Please do.
You are snowed in, though. You may not.
Speaking of being trapped in the snow, I think I could probably go to the Antarctic and have a pretty good time with a replicating alien.
As in Alien from Alien.
Are you going to Alien versus Predator? They're in the Arctic.
Alien from The Thing!
Oh, that's probably more so. Wait, hang on. That's worse.
Sorry.
great.
Hang on a minute. So the film starts, there's a dog, and there's people chasing the dog, and you're there like,
The board games convention at the Hotel Overlook, I don't remember what it's called, failed. And so Bear's inviting us all to the Arctic instead to go and play board games there.
Antarctic, yeah, the Antarctic Research Station. We're stuck there. A bunch of Norwegians come running showing up, yelling about a dog.
And we're like, oh, do you want to play Terraform? What's a game with dogs in?
Snowtails.
Want to play Snowtails?
No, we play Who Goes There, the board game of The Thing.
Oh,
Oh, that's good.
And we just don't connect it at all.
This is pretty meta.
Okay, so the thing about The Thing...
Nice.
The Thing is good at, like, being a Cylon, right? Being an imposter.
Sus.
The Thing takes people over, replaces them.
That is pretty sus.
I'm pretty good at hidden role games, guys. I'm great at lying. I'm great at pretending to be other people.
There is one slight problem,
Are
though.
you the Thing?
Yeah, like, I feel like you then just want to be the Thing.
But no, that actually helps us. As soon as Bear doesn't have a clear and obvious logic for why someone's the Thing, he's like, I'm not sure. We're like, oh, it's Bear. All right, burn him. No, guys, I just haven't figured it out yet.
Get out the aerosol cans.
Yeah, you start burning me all. You're like, wait, why are we all tied to this sofa? As I walk around having absolved myself of all guilt. Being like, I'm the only one we can trust, so we're going to tie you all up.
What's really funny is, like, you know, there's plenty of parodies of the Thing. Right now, on webcam, little peek behind the curtain here, Bear's wearing some goblin ears from a stream he did recently. And imagining you walking out in the Arctic as, all right, guys, I'm the only one we can trust. And we're like, Bear, why have you got goblin ears? You're like, what goblin ears?
I'm an elf.
As we're all tied to the sofa, like, no.
The Thing as well. So at the end of The Thing, like, the viewer isn't necessarily supposed to know who the Thing is. Like, whether one of or the other of the characters is the Thing, whether they're both people.
The movie ends with just, like, two of them being not sure if either of them are trustworthy.
Yeah, but they've both lost. They both acknowledge the position they're in. They're freezing to death out in the snow. So humans have won, but they as individuals have both lost.
Right.
Which is a nice narrative.
Yeah, obviously the Thing is going to be like stuck out in the cold.
So is your argument for the reason why you can always defeat the villain in Halloween because it was fucked anyway because everything's buggers?
The game was rigged from the start.
You're the person that's like walked into the cinema. It doesn't matter. They all die in the end. Just leave.
They're all just actors, idiots.
Well, actually, the risk of the Thing is that if they don't find out soon enough, the Thing is going to build a spaceship or take a helicopter and get to the rest of the world and take over all of Earth.
I thought it required humans to do that because it wasn't that smart a technology.
No, it's smart. It's just trying. They find it's rebuilding its spaceship underground near the end, and they have the big.
Oh,
big
that
thing.
right. Yes, I do know that scene.
Yeah, they burn down the whole place, which is what kind of spoils it all. The Thing is very smart. It's super intelligent, and it like absorbs characteristics and learns really fast. But it's in an awkward position at the start because the Norwegians went all scorched earth on it.
Okay.
Yeah, chased it down to this one dog.
However, if I were in this situation where it were me and possibly the Thing left and we're stuck out in the snow because I burned down the whole place.
Yep.
My problem isn't cold. I always get too hot, so the Thing freezes, and I'm just like, finally I can relax. I take my shirt off.
Okay.
I might need to put a layer back on, you say. Putting on some socks.
So you turn to the one side and the popsicle next to you, which is just me frozen in ice.
Your face agape as the Thing attempts to tentacle its way out.
It's just sort of like, so your plan all along was to freeze it out?
Yeah, just outlast.
Yeah, it's which horror villain can you survive, not which horror villain can we all survive.
Yeah.
It was, again, which one you thought you could defeat?
This is a very long-term plan.
Same difference.
Also, you're now stuck in Antarctica, or the Arctic, whichever one it is.
The other thing is, depending on how exactly the Thing replicates, the worst case is I actually do lose, and I somehow get absorbed into the Thing and live on in this awesome, super intelligent amalgam creature that travels through space.
Right, you've changed the win condition, but I wouldn't say
Yeah,
you've defeated
yeah.
the villain.
I'm just saying, the floor is that even if my plan doesn't work, which I think it will, I still get a cool ending.
I guess so.
Okay, so your way of defeating the Thing is to kill every other human, because it's only you and the Thing left.
No, that's a result of trying to beat it as we go along, and I'm like detecting everyone.
That's an inevitability. That's not a plan. That's just going to happen one way or the other.
I'm only killing Cylons, but every time I kill a Cylon, I stop paying attention. I stop paying attention during the killing, and a bit of it escapes off as I'm killing the actual Thing person.
Well, that's just your ADHD kicking in.
Yeah, exactly. So my ADHD means it keeps absorbing the next person, and so on until until I have to blow up the whole base and outlast it. That was never the plan.
That makes you such a terrible person to be in this position, because that is exactly what would happen. You would be like, oh, we've dealt with that, look away as half of it scampers off.
Or I'd try and keep a sample of it like they do on the old computers.
Yeah, like, it might work, but you would absolutely roast us all.
I didn't know you guys were coming with me. I did, but
You did. You invited us to specifically play Who Goes There, Snowtails and Dead of Winter, I guess.
Yes, and come to Antarctica. Their birthday party, Antarctica edition.
It's too hot in November normally.
No, you're right. We just all get in the hot tub and hide there.
Ah, is it the thing doesn't like heat, or is it specifically fire?
No, it's specifically fire, yeah.
Damn, if it was heat, then we would just hang out in the hot tub. Anyone who's like, no thanks.
When they test the blood, it's because each of the thing's cells acts autonomously, so they put like a hot wire into the blood sample and it jumps away because it's only faking being blood.
It's a small enough sample that it doesn't know how to, like...
It's not connected up to the whole organism to know that it should not run away, etc.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just a very small thing immediately reacting to a threat.
That sounds pretty spooky.
Oh man, the idea of like, if the hot tub worked, I just find it very amusing that like, someone's standing at like, you know, it was like, alright, whoever doesn't want to get in the hot tub, and some of you guys are like, well, you know, I have diabetes, I don't want to get in the hot tub, it's going to mess with my blood sugar. We're like, burn them.
Yeah, no, okay, you can stay out in the cold. Yeah. That would be the thing, yeah. If the hot tub works, I would get way too hot in there and I just have to get out and be like, no, sorry, you guys live. My hot tub plan's too good and I have to see it through. Just promise you'll eat me when I die.
No, I will not.
That's how I want to go out. Okay, you guys have both won, but at what cost are the answer we got so far? I have a monster that I think I could actually defeat and not lose in the process. And that is a video game classic, The Slender Man. Now, there's a few key facts about the Slender Man that give me the advantage over him. Her, it, whatever.
The gender man.
Yeah.
The gender man.
Slender Man does have an implied gender built in.
True. I didn't think about that as I said it.
I don't think it's offensive to use he, him pronouns for the Slender Man.
Look, well, the Slender Woman is an inevitable spin-off. Slender Kid is probably coming out or something.
No, please, it's the she Slender Man.
Oh no. Thanks, Marvel. And the sugar one, the Splendor Man.
Oh, Slender Man. Anyway, key facts about Slender Man that helped me defeat the Slender Man. Number 1, doesn't like his face being looked at. That's the main thing that activates him to be like, I'm gonna kill the dudes. Don't look at his face. He's tall as hell. If I see someone that's way taller than a natural human, don't look up. Easy peasy.
That's not true at all. You're used to that with me and you love making eye contact.
You're not obscenely unhumanly tall.
Excuse me, I take offense to that. I'm just equally wide.
I do apologize, the thing. You can be as tall as you want.
I'm just proportionately fat as well.
Alright, but let's say I do look at the Slender Man's face. We know that from the video game, you can defeat the Slender Man by collecting 5 pieces of paper.
Oh, easy.
I think there are 5 specific pieces of paper, and I'm not too sure what the relevance is.
Sure, but as things go, right, as defeating a villain goes, there's lots of weird dream shenanigans, or you have to use fire, and that's always a gamble. Picking up 5 pieces of paper is quite a simple solution as they come.
Lots of wandering through buildings which were effectively constructed as if they were public urinals.
Yeah, right? Now I find one with a low enough ceiling, you just can't enter it, he's too tall. Or he's to squat down and be this weird squatting dude. At which point, my final point comes into play. He's a gangly lad, and you know how I like to think I can fight a thing? A gangly lad.
You do like to think you could fight a thing.
I could fight a gangly lad.
Okay, so far we've had a reasonable concept of what things you could defeat. It's effectively, he's not very dangerous, can do these things, and then your last bit is, well, he's quite tall, so I'm going to bank him in the nuts.
Well, look, he's got those long lever limbs, so if I just get a good punch in or something...
I could probably beat an octopus in a giant octopus in a fight, right?
No, but octopus doesn't have bones, and that's a key factor of defeating the gangly lad, right?
Okay, Mr. Tickle. You could beat Mr. Tickle.
Does he have bones? Does Mr. Tickle have bones?
We're not answering that question today.
I think Mr. Tickle has bones and very long, spindly arms.
He's just got like 1,000,000 bones in his arms. That's why they're so wiggly.
Very articulated, yeah.
What a nightmare.
That does make me think of the official skeleton concept drawings for the Fall Guys beans.
Oh, God.
Oh man, what good drawings. Excellent. Would recommend a look up if you haven't seen them.
So I need a bit of background. Like, I'm vaguely familiar with Slenderman.
As am I.
But what does he actually do? Like, how does he kill? What does he care about? Are you in a forest?
He cares about your face. He cares about his 5 pieces of paper. He cares. I don't know why I'm in a forest. I guess I just sort of was on a camping trip and there was this weird dude in the woods whose face I happened to see. And he was like, time to die.
But like specifically, you never get to fight back against Slenderman, right? Once he reaches you.
No, which is, I think, a flaw of the video.
Aren't you guys going on like a woodland holiday very shortly?
Eddie, I'm gonna spoil your day with some secret information that I'm privy to.
Okay, sure. I reckon I can counter it somehow.
I have played Phasmophobia with you.
Yep.
And I've also played in VR chat while you were Sonic the Hedgehog, a Slenderman game.
Yep.
And you just immediately noped out of both of those things. As soon as it got vaguely spooky, you just like crawled up into a ball and hid. And I don't think that beats Slenderman in real life.
My one weakness.
My one weakness, horror.
My one weakness, the fact that I'm a massive scaredy cat.
Maybe I shouldn't have tried to beat the horror monsters.
For this question, it's quite a big weakness.
It is a big weakness. However, you have to take into account that I am podcast Eddie in this moment, and the blasé I will fight anything attitude is strong in podcast Eddie. I'm not scaredy cat, oh no, I can't hear my friends, the radio broke. In this, I'm like, yeah, I'll punch a thing, I don't care.
Yeah, it turns out you only get scared by video games. As soon as you're actually there, you're like, it's do or die time now. I'm the hero.
I mean, it just depends which Eddie turns up. If regular Eddie turns up, then yeah, probably wouldn't do very well. But if podcast Eddie turns up, I'm punching a Slenderman.
I have a theory, but in all the previous questions, we've decided that we're together. Are we all in this together in Slenderman Forest?
Oh, interesting question.
Because what I've realized is all of my experiences of you being scared and noping out were while I'm there. So maybe because I'm there, you're like, Bear will handle this. Bear's used to spooky forests and
but
stuff.
if there was no one there with me, maybe it'd be like, well, I have to handle this.
Yeah, so maybe I just spoil your day by being there. Maybe I'm just a terrible friend.
I'd like to think so, obviously.
I'd like to think so.
I was going on a different point, but yeah, it's very funny. Maybe you are just terrible. No, what I was going to say is I'd like to think that, like, and this is a scenario that is impossible to test, but in a position where I had no choice and it was like do or die, that it's like, well, I'm going to die anyway, I may as well try.
I don't think it's impossible to test. I think we should do it after this episode.
Sure, yeah, kill me, or pretend go to kill me.
Do you really want to find out? Because I can engineer this for you.
This is not verbal consent for this. I cannot make that clear enough. Do not try and kill me.
Please do not murder me.
What if we just set up a very immersive, haunted, spooky experience for you that you don't know you're in on?
I'd probably just cry.
Yeah.
It's hard to lie.
You have to face real danger in order to really test that hypothesis, and we don't want to put you in that scenario.
Well, isn't that nice?
Yet.
Yeah, to be fair, my strategy in a lot of horror video games is if I decide I actually want to keep playing it, I just run into the monster and let it kill me, and then I'm like, cool. That's so much easier than running away scared.
That is how I have dealt with games that aren't proper horror.
Yeah. I mean, like when we were playing Outer Wilds expansion and I was like running away from those scary things. Actually, I didn't really let them kill me, did I? I was just like absolutely on edge.
You were just good at the video game.
I was just high anxiety, gotta get this, high stress performance.
You definitely got by it because I was waiting for that moment at one point.
Yeah, a couple times.
So let me just get this straight. Your way of defeating Slenderman, questionable as to whether you can just kick it in the nuts, is to run at it and let it kill you first so you're then not scared of it.
That would probably work for me, yeah.
Right, okay, grand.
Yeah.
I just wanted to clarify.
You need a one-up. Yeah, you need like a... You run through the forest until you find a green mushroom, eat it, let him kill you, and then try and fight him again.
Like, he leaves me for dead, and I'm like, good thing I ate that green mushrooms. I start vomiting as I realise it's not working out in my favour.
And then you just hallucinate that you jump into the air and there's turtles everywhere.
What? No, but if I had, like, a VR drone that I could, like, VR into and, like, walk and get the Slenderman to destroy that a couple of times, then maybe I'd have a chance.
Yeah, you hand Alex a GoPro, send them off into the forest, watch through your VR glasses. Alex dies and you're like, cool, I'm ready for this now. I've had the experience.
You're right. My plan does require several of my friends dying along the way, much like your plans.
Yeah, at least I saved all of humanity on the way.
What happens if we just create massive CCTV coverage of the forest we want to be in, and thus the Slender Man is seen from every angle and learns that that's not a threat?
Is this something like that SCP that kills people if they see its face, even in, like, pixels?
That is what Slender Man is based on, and therefore Slender Man want to kill everyone who's seen the CCTV footage.
Yeah, does it just go on a rampage all over the world?
We have destroyed humanity through the CCTV footage.
Instead, why don't we Day of the Triffids it? Everyone is blind, and then it can't kill anyone.
I mean, it can kill people.
Doesn't Slenderman kill even if you don't look at it?
Yeah.
Like, eventually, Slenderman gets riled up just by you being there.
Doesn't like it, doesn't like being looked at, but it's still like, well, I guess I still want lunch.
Yeah, I don't think you can just, like, keep looking at the ground the whole game and just be fine.
Okay, third option, gun.
Maybe.
He is a gangly lad.
But we are, unfortunately, in England.
That is unfortunate.
I mean, again, going back to the gangly lad thing, just get a cricket bat or something. That's a good whack. Break a bone. Gangly lads struggle with bones like that.
We are sort of like making this slight vague assumption that the Slender Man is some sort of weird Scream-esque monster. So it's just a dude in a cloak, and when you smack it in the kneecaps, he puggles over and goes, oof.
I'm making the assumption it has bones.
I love that your idea of you can defeat anything as long as it has bones.
And a cricket bat.
I mean, I think the fact that he is gangly does help the bone strategy.
I've noticed a potential, if that's true, then there's a way that we could all win, just by burning down the entire setting we're in.
Wait, what?
Alex burns the hotel, I burn down the Antarctic research base, you burn the entire forest.
Is Slender Man
vulnerable to fire? Who knows?
Nobody knows, but I am willing to find out.
You're assuming Slenderman is vulnerable to some kind of normal damage and therefore burn it all down.
This is true, but as a gangly lad, bludgeoning is their specific weakness. Look, Toby is a gangly lad, and I'm sure he would tell you that bludgeoning damage is his biggest weakness.
I don't know, fire damage is also pretty strong.
Yeah, because if you think about it, the ganglier you are, the more vulnerable. Like, if you burn up something that's lots of individual hair strands burns way faster than like a single block.
True.
So the ganglier you are, the more vulnerable to fire you are.
Oh, I see.
I think that's a surface area ratio, not like a stickness.
Also, the problem there is if you've got a low surface area to volume, like me, where you're very large, the heat becomes a problem. You can't dissipate the heat as well. But the actual fire is less of a problem because you're more resistant to it burning through you quickly.
It's just access to oxygen.
Yeah.
I've realised why burning down the forest is actually not a route to defeating Slender Man. It's because in the process you burn down the 5 pieces of paper that tell you how to defeat Slender Man.
Oh, no.
Is that what the paper does, though? Or
it's the goal of the game.
do you need to gather the paper to destroy them?
I don't know. I know that you pick up, if you get all 5 pieces of paper, you win. I don't know the mechanism of your win.
Now I think about it, I think the piece of paper just let you leave.
The Stephen King special.
I don't even think they actually mean you defeat him, it just means you can leave.
I feel like you should have just picked an Enderman, because then, like, at least you have a chance of hitting it with a sword.
I came in so confident thinking, like, yeah, Slender Man, not a problem. And as we've gone through this, I'm like, I have really fucked this one up.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah, you go in, like, thinking, this guy's just a tall dude. I have at least a chance of fighting him. And by the end of the conversation, it's like, oh, he's supernatural, damn.
You could have actually said a horror villain that was just a tall dude.
Yeah, you're right. I'm going to have to come up with something else because I don't think I could defeat Slender Man now and go through it. I'll come up with something else, though. Give me a minute.
You've been to too many nerd conventions and you just believed that everyone dressed as Slenderman was literally Slenderman and that Slenderman was just a nerd in a costume.
They weren't? To sponsor this episode, get in touch on social media or insert business email here. Hey, Your Name! Did you know we also have a website, and a Twitch channel, and a YouTube channel, all of which provide alternative ways to keep up with our usual slew of content, as well as occasionally getting their own unique piece of content. We also have a Twitter account and Facebook page to help you keep up with all our Hexy happenings. I'll put links to everything I've just mentioned in the show notes. Help us grow by liking and subscribing to as many of those things as you have accounts for. Thanks for your support. Now back to whatever it was I just interrupted.
Okay, so we can defeat gangly things. I think we can defeat an alien invasion worth of gangly things.
Whoa.
So it does have to be a specific alien invasion, and I'm talking about the alien invasion from H.G. Wells's War of the Worlds.
Oh.
And this is actually in the text. The way that the Martians were defeated in the text was the common cold.
Yeah.
But crucially, in the original book, the only place they invaded was London, or the southeast of England.
Huh.
So,
Well, I'm fucked then.
if you see a green flash in the sky and an astronomer named Ogilvy assures you that the chances of anything coming from Mars is 1,000,000 to 1, it's a great time for you guys, who are all that is valuable for me in London, to arrange a holiday in Scotland.
So again, we're going for the wait it out strat.
It's the leave strategy.
Yeah, you're a big fan of the I would simply not.
I mean, this is a special I would simply not, as I'm already immune because I'm not in London, and I just need to get my friends out.
That's very funny. Well, how is it the War of the Worlds, Mars versus London, the two worlds?
Because the alien society was based in, we live in a centralised place. And they just assumed that we were too.
They decided London was the...
Because when it was written.
There is also one major downfall, is because the end of the book isn't them leaving with the common cold. The end of the book is, oh yeah, and they came back, but, you know, they had a vaccine.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, no.
we've got a bit of time to deal with that one.
We've got time to sort out...
Yeah.
We clone the podcast, Eddie, give them enough bats, they're gangly lads, as you said.
I think it's only like 2 years or something. It isn't a long period of time.
What is the nature of these aliens? Are they like fleshy things in machines?
Yeah, so they're like the pods that they come down and like burn people to the touch so you can't get near them. And then they start constructing these machines that then pick up humans and put them in baskets and eat them.
That's pretty cool.
And have a big devastating heat ray that like just cuts through ships.
I'm really into this because when they die to the common cold, they've left some of their machines behind.
Yes.
We can hop in them, hop off to Mars, and terraform it. And then they're like, oh crap, all of our home planet's wrong because we tried to do this invasion. And now Bear has a load of points.
I don't think any of the stuff that they had, that they invaded with in the first time round, was a ship. They effectively orbital launched
Dropped them, yeah.
to Earth.
Yeah, they drop popped from Mars to Earth, I think. They literally like fired cylinders from Mars to Earth.
Yeah. At the very least, though, they're invasion machines we can learn from.
Yeah.
We can get to Mars already, so we can just like
Takes a little while, but that's fine.
reverse engineer their war machines, drop them on there, and start getting Veeps.
I think it was pre-space flight, I think.
Well, luckily it's not now.
Yeah.
Now we have the technology.
I like the idea of like I can defeat this because we just have the technology to win from when this was written. Because like, oops, the aliens have been watching as well, and all of their technology is that far advanced as well.
Yeah.
We've got better machinery now. We can probably defeat heat rays.
Yeah, although the downside is if their technology has like exponentially grown and started that much ahead of ours, they are way beyond us now. And I am there for it because that gets us back to Mass Effect. Nice one, Alex. Boom.
Well, I was also thinking about that from like if they spend some time developing the common cold vaccine, so we've got a bit of time to get there. It takes about 7 months to get to Mars, which is about how long it took to develop the COVID vaccine. So we get to Mars and they're like, great, we've just got the vaccine, let's send some ships down. By the time we get back to Earth, they've already sent some dudes and they got much faster space travel. So we get back to Earth and it's now the new Mars with the Martians all hanging out there. It's like, oh, I guess we'll just swap planets.
You know the bad news for them, though? They may not have realised that the common cold changes, and we've brought the new strain.
The common cold is impossible to cure for that because it mutates so quickly. Or functionally impossible to cure.
But they were so advanced that they eradicated all disease on their planet.
Yeah.
The fools, don't they know you need germs?
They were so advanced that they forgot what disease was when they invaded.
I think they just didn't account for it when they were launching their invasion.
Or they knew that this was the scout team.
Yeah.
You also have to remember that we have got one ace up our sleeve in Tom Cruise in the classic film. He doesn't win, but he does survive.
He does a lot of running away. He does not defeat any...
I mean, that is basically how you survive the War of the Worlds. That's the novel.
I feel like you've not understood the question.
But we defeat the aliens by the common cold. And then whatever happens after the book is their problem.
That's also like, you're wandering through the jungle and a massive gorilla decides to attack you. I've got an idea. The way I'll make sure I can defeat the gorilla is the tiger jumping out of the trees and going after the gorilla.
Exactly. If we knew that was going to happen ahead of time with the benefit of hindsight, then yes.
If we had time travel, we could have been fine the whole time.
Yeah. If we knew how this was going to end, we knew it would be fine.
Yeah, exactly. I don't see anything wrong with this.
What if they get here and then you find out accidentally that their weakness was actually liquid water instead of the common cold?
Oh no, now we're fucked.
Oh no, I've accidentally been leaving glasses of of water all over, just in case this happens.
Well, then we just need a boat. What you gonna do, nerds? Fight your heat? Oh, shit.
I do want to shout out the radio play of The War of the Worlds, which I only heard recently. It has some fucking banging music in. Would recommend.
I also want to shout out Jeff Wayne's musical version of The War of the Worlds. It has some more banging music in.
I'd like to shout out just any aliens that we meet in real life.
Shout out to any real aliens.
Yeah.
Where you at?
Just come hang out with me, please. I want to play board games with you.
Apparently, Bear is very open to the idea of two of you being left in the Antarctic and both of you are probably dead.
Yeah, well.
Well, the thing is, the thing
Hey.
is the solution to that, because I can get the thing to just recreate them and then play board games with them. I just need to master the thing.
You have a very, very defined MO in life, and I'm not sure if I respect it yet.
Maybe the thing has just never experienced fun. It's been so occupied with like domination and control.
Some people find that fun.
And then they get to our world and we're like, hey, video games.
Oh, this Slenderman dude, I reckon I can beat him in a fight.
Yep, no, we're going back to persuading Thanos to play magic again.
Persuade the thing to play Slenderman.
Speaking of games and puzzles, I'm pretty sure there's a villain named Jigsaw Puzzle. And Jigsaw puzzles are easy as hell. I could just do a Jigsaw puzzle.
And he's called Jigsaw because that's what he makes a jigsaw out of your flesh.
What?
That's his thing. I've definitely seen these films.
I thought his thing was he puts you in a room with a puzzle and says, solve it.
I thought it was because he just that into woodworking.
Have you read the plot of a Saw film that was, translated from French via a German to English?
I think the thing, it's called the Saw films because everyone saw them, right?
Especially you, the person who's seen every film.
Especially me, the person who's seen every film.
Except one, and it was all of the Saw franchise.
I mean, I wasn't really paying attention, but I watched it, right? I got in, saw that there was a thing about puzzles, and was started doing puzzles on my phone. People kept tapping me in the cinema and saying, can you put your phone away? I'm like, yeah, let me just finish this puzzle, and then start a new one without remembering.
Do you know the sort of puzzles that they encounter in the Saw films?
Okay, yeah. The actual thing, all those puzzles, really easy. Or they're just, moral dilemmas. And I'm just cool. You've put me in this situation. It's not my responsibility to make that decision. This is on you. If you need me to chop off this person's leg to solve the puzzle, I'll do it, but it's on you.
I mean, the trauma's on you.
The fundamental misunderstanding that you've had here is it isn't chop off this person's leg, it is chop off my own leg.
No.
No, I don't think so. That doesn't sound like a puzzle.
Although a lot of them are isn't the chopping off your own leg one of multiple routes?
I don't think so. They are usually just fucked up escape rooms.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Where it's hey, you can dig this key out of your own skin
Sure,
or something bizarre like that. I'm so sorry if you don't like this gory stuff. There's going to be a bit of explanation of it in here.
I think we're going to put content warnings in the description here.
Yeah.
We'll try and keep it light, but they are going to happen.
Here's the thing. Is the Puzzle Master or Jigsaw, are they better than me? Because I don't think they are.
At what? Specify.
I solve puzzles professionally in unintended ways. That's literally what I do for a living. Do you really think Jigsaw has figured out every exploit of his own game, or just only really thought about the intended solution?
To be fair, if anyone was going to find an unintended solution or exploit, it would be you.
Jigsaw sits there, monologuing about, you're gonna have to carve out your own flesh and do all these horrible things, and by the time he's finished, I've, torn off the tools he's given me, fashioned them into a lockpick, and I'm outside the door. It's just what are we saying?
It's that, or you just you turn a laptop around. He's like, how'd you get the laptop? You're I have your bank account details.
Yeah.
Let me out, or bye money.
It's I know who you are. I'm on your Facebook. I'm gonna post about this.
You need to secure your Wi-Fi better, dude.
Yeah.
It's just an open source
Or
system.
I just get out. I'm that was fun. Cool. What's the next room? Can I bring some friends along for the next one?
Yes.
I want to play a game. Cool, here's Terraforming Mars. See you later.
Yeah, the thing about Jigsaw puts you into a high-pressure, high-stakes environment, which is literally where I do my best work. Under time pressure, with solutions that you can, think about. And sometimes they're pretty nasty, but that is literally, the environment. Out of all the horror environments, the thinky puzzle under high stress where there is a way out. That's the thing I am best at.
What is funny about it as well is that strictly he does just give you the solution. Here's where the key is, here's how you get the key, and in 30 seconds, or however long it is, this bad thing is going to happen instead if you don't have the key. And you're like, okay, cool, I know all of the parameters, you fool.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not like all the other ones where I'm fighting a supernatural monster and I'm just trying to find a way to beat it like they haven't thought of. What I mean is, out of all of the things I could actually have to deal with, this is the most achievable in normal terms. This is the most in my wheelhouse.
I see where you're coming from. It's also very funny that you can find these loopholes and Jigsaw's like, no, okay, alright, look, I'm gonna have to re-explain why I have to close, okay, I have to close the loopholes ahead of time.
Yeah.
Let me explain to you.
I'm just like, this isn't a board game, dude. You don't just get to write a rule book that we stick to. If you leave the physical way of solving it in there, then I'm gonna use it.
No, but that's not what I meant, right? I mean, like...
Jigsaw's like, I've researched you online. You're on, like, Board Game Stack Exchange. You love the rules. Why aren't you sticking to them? Because I love the rules because I love breaking the rules.
I don't know, like, the unique answer to a lot of your stuff is going to be like, well, I just chop off a different limb. The vast majority of these guys are like, I didn't chop off my leg, I chopped off my arm. Like, okay, great, I guess.
No, or it's like, Jigsaw has it all, like, controllable remotely, right? It's just like,
No.
yeah, you've got all these electrical signals so that, like, the right thing doesn't happen or the bomb doesn't go off, and you just didn't secure it. Like, you've left an unencrypted channel. It's like, yeah, but you weren't supposed to have a computer. It's like, I have a phone.
The vast majority of them are mechanical traps. They're not electrical ones.
Oh, that's even easier.
I have realised one way that you will get absolutely roasted by Jigsaw, though, and that is that he loves a bear trap.
Oh, no.
Specifically designed to counter you.
You know the thing about bear traps, though?
I know some things about bear
You
traps.
could just pull them open. Yeah, it'll hurt. I'll get like a... No, it's just one room full of bear traps. I like step in, I'm like, oh, I just have to do this. I step in it fully intentionally and aware. Ow! Pull it open, bleed a bit.
Oh.
Step onto the next one. Ow! Pull it open. And it's just like a 100-meter walk across bear traps, and that's all Jigsaw's done. And I just do it.
It's not even that. It's like, alright, look, it's this next room I call the bear trap room, and you're like, alright, I'm ready to just like deal with all these. I know I can pull them open. It'll be fine. He opens the room, and it's just like a game of terraforming Mars. And he's like, you have 2 hours to leave the room. Like, is it locked? No, but there's a game of terraforming Mars here.
Yeah, and just puppets of you guys ready to play.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fine. I'm like, cool, we're playing with preludes and double corpse.
But these boys have analysis paralysis.
Oh no. I do like the idea of just something super engaging, like loads of stimulation, and just you have to ignore all of the fun things and do this tax form.
Just do the tax form, yeah. It'll take you 15 minutes tops.
Here are 100 numbers, and you have to look at them and put them in order on this other page. It won't be very hard. I just do 5 of them, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm like to kill me.
like Bear, you're halfway through. You've got 5 more to the
No,
draw.
I would rather die than do a single another data entry. You're right. If it's a Jigsaw who is very aware of my emotional needs and weaknesses, like, the right kind of Jigsaw could be a problem for me. But the Jigsaw in the films, what a wuss. Absolutely wuss.
Great points. The thing is, there is one Halloween villain that we have neglected to mention. The true nemesis of Halloween, dare I say.
A pumpkin.
Sort of, kind of like a pumpkin in that they are everywhere on Halloween, and like they are things that we actively have to provide peace offerings to stop them from like wreaking havoc upon us. I am, of course, talking about children. The true nemesis of Halloween. We have to offer them candy lest they trick us.
So I'm just getting a few screams in for your editing joy.
What's funny about this? I'm just going to leave that in as
Feel free to copy and paste them to other scary parts of the episode.
Oh, God.
If I need a scream, the Wilhelm scream is copyright free. So, that's why it gets used so much. Yeah, basically, children are the true nemesis, the true villains of Halloween. I think I could beat children.
Right.
Questions?
Um,
I'm not sure you could.
what is beating children? And also, this is now a police interview and you are under caution. What is beating children?
Sorry, officer, it was a bad turn of phrase.
Fight.
I meant defeating children. No further questions, Your Honour. However, lads, you may continue to ask further questions.
How many do you think you could fight all of the children of Halloween?
Yeah, that's quite a lot of children.
I've actually thought about this. Here's the thing, right? Because too many children at once is a problem. As one group of kids, I could beat in a fight. They're not too difficult to defeat. I'm not going to argue that in too much detail. So what I have to do is I have to basically take the fight to them. I have to spot a group of children, run up to them, beat them, and then run straight to the next group before they can swarm me.
So your way of dealing with children on Halloween is a preemptive strike on the 20th of October.
Like, they'll be dressed up in costumes, so it'll be obvious which ones are the villains and which ones are just kids.
Oh, right. So you still wait for the day.
Yeah, it does need to be on the day. But yeah, I have to, because if I wait in my house for them to ring the doorbell, at some point multiple groups are going to turn up at once, and that's going to be a problem. That's too many kids. So I need to be out on the streets fighting children.
But what is the age cap on these children you're fighting? Because some rowdy teens are gonna kick your ass, dude.
Not if they're not expecting it.
You beat up my little brother.
Have you encountered absolute punk teens on Halloween?
Let alone absolute punk teens, ones that are high on sugar.
What age of kid, actually makes use of Halloween? There are teens that just turn up for candy, but they're just there to stir up some shit a bit. They're not really the children of Halloween. They're not the intended nemesis of Halloween.
Is a 17-year-old a child?
Only in the eyes of the law.
All right. Are you acting as the law for this fight? The law of Halloween.
Actually, hang on a minute. You get tried as an adult from the age of 10, so not in the eyes of the law.
Do you?
No, I don't think so.
That's not how that works.
You legally cannot commit a crime before the age of 10.
Yeah. It's the point where you personally could be convicted.
Yeah, and your parents could still be convicted in raising you badly.
Okay.
This is
All
not
right.
legal advice. I am not a lawyer or a cop.
All right. However, what if we took that just as a cut-off point to give me some sort of target to aim for? So I reckon I could beat up all of the Halloween children, 9 and 9.
I think you've accidentally walked into an existing franchise.
Am I?
In a limited form. I think you're basically doing The Purge, but the rules only apply to kids.
I'm not going to kill these kids. All I have to do is defeat them.
How can you defeat something without killing them?
I think you have become the villain of Halloween.
Look, if they go home crying, then they're not fighting me anymore.
You're right. They have to give up for at least 24 hours.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If they're not going to try and fight me for at least 24 hours or until the end of Halloween, then I have won. I have defeated them.
Okay.
And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of kids out there. That's why I have to run from group to group, taking the fight to them.
I just need to get your assessment on something.
Yeah.
How hard do you think fighting all kids will be compared to fighting one Slender Man?
So,
Because I must admit, you have gone for the polar opposite. You've gone both really tall things and really short things that you can hit with a cricket bat.
yeah, it's true.
Do kids have bones?
Most of them.
Or are they just cartilage until they become adults?
Not when I'm finished, apparently.
No. Come on, I'm not trying to beat them to a pulp. I'm trying to make them leave me alone for the rest of the evening.
Would you prefer to fight one bear-sized child or the volume of a bear of children?
That's a lot of children.
Would you rather fight a bear-sized child or a child-sized bear?
Definitely a bear. Oh, hang on. That's a large child.
It is. I would still fight the child, personally. 'Cause
It depends how, in the fight zone you are, because...
bears are always in the fight zone.
Oh, you didn't mean a child-sized you. You meant a child-sized animal bear.
I'm shrugging. You can't hear it, but I'm shrugging. I don't understand the difference in the question.
That's such a shame, because that shrug was so good.
So wait a second, but what do you mean by in the fight zone?
I mean, so...
Ready to fight.
Ketamine? Like what?
Cracked up, yeah.
In my mind, I thought Bear meant himself, right? And I was like, if Bear is aiming to fight me, then there is a struggle there. But if Bear is just there and I need to defeat him at something, I can sit him down and pick the board game that I have the best chance to win.
You're right. Which is rolling a die.
Which is Yahtzee or equivalent.
Snakes and ladders.
Right, but back to the conversation of defeating all of the children of Halloween.
Yep.
You've done so with a cricket bat.
That's one option, yeah.
You would have to have Santa Claus-esque powers to be everywhere on one night.
Well, the goal of this is for me to be left alone for the evening, essentially, right?
Okay, I see.
He only
Right.
needs to beat up every kid he can encounter.
Look, all I want is a quiet evening in, and so I'm spending it out fighting every child.
Eddie basically is obligated to go and spend Halloween and from like 4 p.m. until 2 a.m. roaming around, seeking out any groups of kids he can find, and then defeating them in a combat.
So I don't necessarily have to do that. I could just wait for them to come to my door and then defeat them to prevent them from disturbing me in my door.
Yeah, but you're saying they would beat you if they do that.
Yeah, they would. I think they would understand that. Get several groups of them forming together, at which point I can't fight that many kids at once.
Especially as the pile of kids outside your doors grows, and then they're like, oh, we gotta be ready for a fight if we're gonna trick-or-treat here.
Exactly, right?
Have you tried something that's not beating them up, like, I know, turning out the lights or going to a hotel that's on a high floor for an evening?
Giving them candy.
I don't know what you're
I'm
talking
going to be.
about.
I'm going to be honest with you. Your pacifist run is really coming through, isn't it?
I was considering like leaving candy out and just putting like some sleeping pills in it or something so that they have the candy, fall asleep, therefore don't disturb me.
Instead of beating up children, you're now drugging children. Great.
Yeah, but it's just with like sleeping pills. I'm not putting anything worse.
I forget who we were battling before, but this is the fight where gun is particularly used.
My intent is not to kill these children. Why would I hurt these children?
Why would you hurt this children?
It's just the implication of danger.
To be fair, I think if you have like a few pumpkins strategically placed around the property, and as they come near them, you shotgun blast the pumpkin from a range,
That'll probably spook them enough.
they probably won't come and fight you, yeah.
I like how you picked a shotgun, one of the widest spray.
That is not true. Real shotguns are terrifying, and actually shotguns being bad at range is a video game thing for balance.
If you're okay with drugging children to get a good night's sleep on Halloween,
Yep.
why don't you just drug yourself and get a good night's sleep on Halloween?
Because then the kids will beat him up.
Look, I've laid down the gauntlet. The kids know what's up.
The kids aren't ready for a fight, but if the kids come to Eddie's door and he doesn't answer it, they're gonna break in, find him sleeping, and beat him up.
Well, it's more specifically that they will then trick me, which may be beating me up.
What
but
do you think the word trick means?
You're right, sorry, yeah, they'll cover him in banana peels.
And then beat him up.
Exactly, right? The point is, I want to avoid the trick, and I don't want to have to give them the treats. I'm not okay with this. I think that makes them the villain. So how can I prevent the trick or the treat, and that be the only way that I think is the true defeating of the villain of Halloween children?
Put a massive hose in the garden that, like, sprays the children so they don't want to bother?
You know the actual thing?
Ruin their makeup?
I think what you could do, if you really want to defeat kids for Halloween specifically, you need to start, like, not specifically on Halloween. You need to just become a murderer serial killer in your local area leading up to Halloween, so that when Halloween actually comes around, all of the local parents cancel it and keep the kids in because there is this serial killer on the loose.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Again, I think you are going to have a quiet night because you are going to be locked up.
I think there is another actually way. It involves having a few bad Halloweens and losing a couple, but I think I could win Halloween thereafter by being the guy that gives kids like vegetables
Razor
or something.
apples.
Not razor apples. I think just something they don't want, like broccoli stems.
Or the most ridiculous, you give them vegetables that you've put cocaine in.
I put cocaine. No, they won't stop coming back to
That's
my
the thing, you know, the thing that everyone's scared of, though. Like, oh, they're gonna give all our kids their expensive recreational drugs.
Like, I don't have the funds for that. Broccoli I can afford.
Like, who the hell's gonna waste all their drugs on kids?
I know, right? What a ridiculous fear. But yeah, I don't have the money for drugs. I do have the money for vegetables.
You say that, but, like, wait till the goats start showing up at your house.
Oh no, I've defeated one villain and created
It
another.
wasn't the children of Halloween, it was the kids of Halloween that you had to be scared of.
But then I can fight the goats, and that's less of a moral quandary.
Yeah, your local area just becomes famous for being the goats at Halloween place.
Look, I know it's a bit of a faux pas to fight kids,
Is it?
but is it as much of a problem to fight goats?
I need to make some apologies.
Yeah, it's somewhat frowned upon. But goats, I think it is less frowned upon to fight. So actually, if I just slowly move, like, the problem to less and less problematic to fight creatures,
I'm not sure. Like, imagine... Okay,
And then eventually I fight Slender Man.
let's take the base case here. If I've learned anything from TV, it's that the definition of a dog is any four-legged animal with a tail.
This is accurate.
And so if you're fighting dogs, that's not acceptable. A lot of people would rather you fight kids than dogs.
I think research is needed onto this pattern.
Saying a lot of people is not even like most people, it's just there are a lot of people on the planet.
I guess, yeah. That's the Fox News way of reporting it.
Yeah. Many individuals.
Lots of people. If it's more than like 6, we can call it lots.
You know, someone has said...
It is not something that we fail to encounter regularly, that people have an easier time having empathy for, like, dogs than other people.
This is true.
So I actually think you can fight kids. Now that the alternative is out there, you just need to make a big public thing about how, at least I'm not fighting dogs, and then everyone's fine with you fighting the kids.
I'm gonna become a politician through this. Hey, I'm not as bad as someone who was fighting dogs, hypothetically.
You
Therefore,
start stirring up all of these stories about local kids fighting dogs, and then you become a vigilante hero.
Oh, I won't. But yeah, so I think I could defeat children. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see it. I think you'd get tired, and eventually the kids would overwhelm you, even if you were trying to pick them off Batman style.
Yeah, I mean, that is the debate of, like, how long could I do that for? And I think picking them off Batman style is the way to go, to do that for as long as possible.
I think you need to move to a more rural area.
Possibly.
Like, the city has really got you beat here.
Yeah,
Just
a
on
little bit.
numbers alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, just move to a retirement home and then there'll be no kids.
Just beat up old people instead who come.
Old people are basically kids, yeah, you have to beat up the old people there.
I would have to beat up the old people. And is that more or less acceptable? I don't know.
I think it's more acceptable, but I think they're going to have a better time fighting back. Not because of their body state, but because they have more weapons on hand.
They do. This is true.
Like, old people are not afraid to just secretly have an illegal gun on them.
Oh, they could just throw their teeth at me. That's devastating.
And then they chatter and just bite you.
Oh, that's the worst. I hate
So
it.
yeah, Dencho's the secret weapon.
I'd rather fight Slender Man than old people.
The ultimate villain of Halloween. Teeth. Yeah, how would you beat the Tooth Fairy? That's the real problem.
Next time.
Yeah, what would happen, like a goose with human teeth?
We have to shut this down before this gets too far.
I'd like to submit our answers for your judgment.
Yes, so
As the master of spookiness, both the oldest and the youngest, the most childlike and old person-like, we submit ourselves.
So far, yeah, you have collectively submitted the things that you could defeat in the order I've written them down.
The 6 most terrifying monsters.
We have Children and Slenderman, who are defeated by cricket bats.
Yep, absolutely.
We have the hotel from The Shining and The War of the Worlds by doing nothing and just generally waiting. Jigsaw by sort of engaging but just kind of getting angry. And The Thing by getting really cold.
Surviving the cold.
So
Hey, if getting really cold is the way to defeat the Thing, then you're the one who should defeat the Thing.
yes, so after all of the considerations, I do think that the most well constructed and thought out argument that would instigate that even absolute morons could defeat this particular creature, I'm actually going to give it to Bear with Jigsaw. And I think, yes, most people could defeat this absolute maniac. Which means that now, for me in the future, as part of my revival into villainy, I need to either be a collection of children, a Slender Man, a large building, a alien, or an alien that doesn't like fire.
Well,
Next
thank
month.
you.
Congratulations, Bear.
What do I win? What do I win?
What do you win, Bear? So you'll be happy to note that I do have some very, very fresh inside of pumpkin just for you.
Wonderful. I wonder where you got that.
Oh, delicious! I can do something with that.
Make soup?
I'm gonna go celebrate winning. Wait, why are children coming to my house?
You fool! Thanks for listening. If you want to keep up to date with everything we do, your best bet is to follow us on social media. We're at Hexagorgon on Twitter, and we're Hexagorgon FB, no spaces, on Facebook. And if you'd like to support us financially, you could either donate to our Ko-Fi, which is Hexagorgon, or subscribe to us on Twitch if that's more your speed, which is Hexagorgon Live. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time. Well, you'll see us. Well, not C exactly. Ah, you get the idea.
I'm just Googling how to defeat Pinhead, because that's the real answer. Like, if there's any normal Halloween villain, just Google how to beat them, because people
With
have had plenty
Hammerhead.
Yeah.
Get my old mate Hammerhead just to knock on a bit.
Bonk.
Pinterest head. Oops. Okay. Apparently, Pinhead used to be a specific person from World War One, and you can revert him to his human form and then slit his throat.
You can revert him to his human form, and then he's like, "Oh fuck, I've got a lot of spikes in my head."
You just kill him like a regular person.
And
This
a regular
sounds
man.
like you ask your GM a fact, and then later they're like, okay, I'm just going to do this. Is this allowed? And the DM's like,
Well,
yes.
I'm committed
I
now,
guess so.
I suppose.